our platform has been built grounds up with the sole purpose of helping ISVs seamlessly transact through hundreds of marketplaces and enabling channel partners to transact and provision hundreds of cloud services and products through our network. A new offering that we're basically launching to the market is now aligning this technology that we have to help the ISVs go through new routes to market. And one of the most important routes to market that's coming up these days is the hyperscaler marketplaces. And we are very excited to announce that taking all of this knowledge that we have in helping ISVs get onboarded to several hundred marketplaces, we've now created the knowledge base that's needed and the technologies that's needed to make onboarding to hyperscaler marketplaces extremely seamless, both from the upstream operations as well as the downstream operations that a ISV would need.
Learn how to master cloud marketplaces in just 5 weeks with our cohort course. Accelerate your growth by tapping into the $300+ billion cloud spend that enterprises have committed to AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. Discover the future of go-to-market with Roman. During 10 weekly sessions, you'll learn how to leverage this fast-growing channel and network with top industry experts and partnership leaders. We will dive into marketplace strategies, internal buy-in, building relationships with the cloud, and mastering co-sell. Join our upcoming cohort.
Hi, Uddhav. Great to have you today finally in our show.
The pleasure is all mine, Roman. You've created something truly amazing with Partner Insights, and I love the valuable insights that you provide anyone that's looking to do something around the marketplaces and the partner-centric routes to market. It's truly game-changing, man. So the pleasure is all mine to be on your show.
I appreciate that. So today we have you as the president of CloudBlue. I'm thrilled to dive into your new offering, and I think it's the market is changing, and you kind of following the market trend and in sort of in many ways kind of leading it. So you have amazing platform with CloudBlue, and I'm curious, how do you explain CloudBlue to your friends or your former colleagues in SAP?
I'm glad we are starting off with this question. So if you think about CloudBlue, we are like the channel partner's super experienced and resourceful digital butler that takes away all the painful tasks and all the complexities so they can focus on accelerating and growing their business. So what do I mean by this, right? So imagine you're a channel partner that is selling all these amazing cloud services and products to end customers through your network, right? And managing all these service offerings, keeping track of offers, discounts, bundles, pricing changes, and maximizing margins, all of this through your network is like juggling multiple balls in the air, right? And CloudBlue takes care of all of this from the viewpoint of the channel partner, but also providing the end customer a really, really seamless experience, right? So CloudBlue is a monetization platform that is SaaS-based and is designed to solve the entire multi-tier marketplace problem with custom and pre-onboarding products that are readily available. You can create bundles, you can manage margins, as I mentioned, you can create private offers, you can do subscription management, you can do provisioning and fulfillment, billing, invoicing, payment reconciliations, disbursement, reconciliations overall in terms of what you've sold, what you bought. CloudBlue can do it all. So it's like a massive monetization platform for channel partners and ISVs.
Given that you have already one of the most advanced platforms on the markets, what your new product expansion does? Can you talk about that kind of a little bit more?
We have been in the monetization platform business for almost a decade now. And our platform has been built grounds up with the sole purpose of helping ISVs seamlessly transact through hundreds of marketplaces and enabling channel partners to transact and provision hundreds of cloud services and products through our network, right? So we just don't help, creating amazing purchasing experiences for the end customers, but we go all the way so that the ISVs also have a fantastic experience. So we've done this today as a part of our multi-channel, multi-marketplace platform. A new offering that we're basically launching to the market is now aligning this technology that we have to help the ISVs go through new routes to market. And one of the most important routes to market that's coming up these days is the hyperscaler marketplaces. And we're very excited to announce that taking all of this knowledge that we have in helping ISVs get onboarded to several hundred marketplaces, we've now created the knowledge base that's needed and the technologies that's needed to make onboarding to hyperscaler marketplaces extremely seamless, both from the upstream operations as well as the downstream operations that a ISV would need. So that is what is our new offering.
So I'm very curious about diving into the features and everything else, but let's talk about timing first. Like question from our strategy professor from business school, like why now? Why? What are the trends that did you see on the markets? Why do you think it's a great time today?
I always say this: providing a solution to any enterprise is a combination of a couple of things. You need the technology, you need the platform, and you need the industry experience to do that, right? And today, CloudBlue is actually used by some of the leading ISVs in the market to go through multiple routes to market, right? There are over 200 plus ISVs that we currently work with that are using us to basically go through a multi-tier marketplace, whether it's the distributors marketplace, whether it's the resellers marketplace, whether it's a telcos marketplace, right? So we're trusted by the world's leading 200 ISV brands. But now what we are seeing is a really tectonic shift in the way ISVs are going to market. There are a couple of trends that we are seeing there, right? The first trend that we're seeing is obviously a lot of the ISVs are now basically becoming cloud service providers, right? They're actually building their applications on the cloud, whether as a SaaS offering or a AI ops offering or infrastructure as a service offering or tools around those as a service offerings. And we're seeing they are basically using the hyperscaler marketplaces as a very valid route to market, right? Customers on the other end are also adapting the cloud more aggressively, and they're also seeing the hyperscaler marketplace as a procurement vehicle for them to basically buy products. So, that's emerging as a very strong route to market. So that's one. The second thing that we're seeing is as ISVs are moving more towards the cloud, the ecosystem marketplace is becoming very important. And what I mean by ecosystem marketplaces is, you remember how App Exchange evolved in Salesforce? Where Salesforce said, oh, we are a SaaS based CRM solution. We can't build everything in the CRM product, so we're going to create an ecosystem of products around us that will integrate, that will extend the core Salesforce platform. We are seeing almost every partner, every technology vendor out in the market doing that. And the way they're doing that is by creating their own ecosystem marketplaces, their own app stores, their own app exchanges, and then also creating really strong bundled offerings on the hyperscaler marketplaces that they go to market with, right? So that trend has now basically caught up, and we are now participating in that journey.
I think we can spend like a few hours discussing this shift, and I agree with you that both actually companies go to hyperscalers marketplaces, which is incredibly important. It's huge. The cloud commits numbers are just now shifting from like hundreds of billions to trillions of dollars now, or like sort of the trillion of dollars, and then and also every company which has sizable customer base also building their own marketplace. And sort of building their own ecosystem, and I think it's interesting how they sort of interlap. So thanks so much for sharing that. So you mentioned ISVs that you already powering with your technology. Can you talk a little bit more like who are the customers of this new offering?
Historically, our customer base has been more of the telcos, the distributors, the resellers for CloudBlue. And the ISVs were kind of our partners. We would onboard them onto our platform, make the entire, onboarding experience, provisioning experience available in such a way that a telco or a reseller or a distributor can get started with the ISV's product in a very easy manner. In our new offering, our targeted audience is the ISVs themselves. Because what we are seeing, Roman, is as the ISVs onboard through this new routes to market, right? Whether it's a classic way of directly selling to the end customer, or selling through the hyperscaler marketplace, or selling through the channel network of distributors, resellers, or any other route to market the ISV chooses, you need to centrally manage all the subscriptions across these multiple routes to market. You need to onboard a product once and be able to take a flavor of that product and push it through any of these marketplaces. You need to be able to basically receive the orders coming from all these different places and then do one single provision. At the end of the day, behind the scenes, the product of the ISV is still the same. It's just going through different routes to market, right? And given that we had already the experience to go and do this over multiple marketplaces today for a single ISV, we now extended that to basically add this new routes to market like the hyperscaler marketplaces or ecosystem marketplaces to now create one framework, one platform where the ISV can manage all of this from a single place. So the targeted audience for our new offering is the ISVs.
Let's talk about sort of positioning, because I think it's probably the easiest way to understand the product, right? It's kind of like how it's positioned in ecosystem, and ecosystem of products helping companies to go through cloud go-to-markets is warming up. And then also hyperscalers themselves are trying to simplify, right, sort of integrates with Salesforce and everything else. So how do you see yourself kind of where do you see your strengths within this framework?
This is not a new space in terms of platforms trying to capture. There are a number of players that have entered into this market, and I think the opportunity is pretty large for all these players. But there are a couple of differences in how each of the players is actually approaching this, Roman, if you think about it. So there's some players that are basically thinking about it from how do I make the opportunity creation and presenting an opportunity easy for the ISV in context of a selected route to market, right? They're kind of focusing on the top portion of the co-sell activity, I would say. Then you have a second set of players that are basically looking and saying, okay, if the let's just focus on the hyperscaler marketplace for a second, right? If the hyperscaler marketplace is providing the try buy experience, how can I basically create a lot of demand generation activity to bring more and more people into that marketplace? That's a second set of platforms that are focusing on it. The third set of platforms are basically focusing where I think CloudBlue plays a very integral role is once somebody hits the buy button on the hyperscaler marketplace, how does the entire downstream operations flow? How does the ISV receive the order? How does the ISV automatically then provision the order? How do we collect the usage information from the ISV's product and relay it back to the hyperscaler? How do we take the payment disbursements that's coming from the hyperscaler, tie it back to the order, and do a complete reconciliation, right? All those aspects, which is the upstream and the downstream, is what CloudBlue is focusing on. The second part of the equation that we're focusing on is we all know how enterprise deals happen. There's one thing which is like, hey, you want to try buy, test my product out, go get the public offering, but you want to basically have more of a serious conversation with me. Let's basically have a private offer, right? And the hyperscalers have recognized this and they've created a lot of mechanisms for ISVs to now publish private offers through this platform, through their platform. And CloudBlue facilitates that as well, right? So it doesn't matter whether you're buying a public offer or a private offer, CloudBlue will help you process that down. And then the last part is when you start thinking about all of this, right? Today, the engagement that's happening with the hyperscalers is more of a direct relationship, right? So the ISV directly trying to sell through the hyperscaler marketplace to the end customer. Now you're starting to see the next generation of these hyperscaler marketplaces evolve, where channel partners are starting to play a very important role. Because at the end of the day, the hyperscalers have historically gone to market with channel partners. And so now it's like, oh, I can sell you, let's say, the underlying infrastructure as a service, but to help drive the consumption of the underlying infrastructure as a service that was sold, the channel partners are getting involved with their customers to say, okay, this is how you burn down your consumption. And CloudBlue comes from a strength position there because we've historically, that's been what CloudBlue has been used for, right? It's really strong in creating offers that then go through multi tiers of the channel. And now we're bringing that knowledge, plus our knowledge of working with the hyperscalers, combining together to help ISVs go either direct to the end customer or go through the channel partners to the end customer with the use of CloudBlue technology.
Very interesting. So you're trying to build something like truly comprehensive and leverage your expertise with channel partners, right? And I think that it's something that many companies trying to unlock now. Everyone is recognizing that it's going to be the future, but that not that many who has kind of unlocked that through marketplace.
And Roman, it's a very hard problem to solve. We wouldn't have been able to solve this problem had we not, for the last 10 years, solved the problem of creating upstream and downstream activity through the channel network. And today, like some of the world's leading 200 channel partners run on top of CloudBlue. Some of the world's leading ISVs monetize their products through CloudBlue, right? So we've got that industry knowledge, that aggregated experience of over the last decade that we are now taking, and we're basically bringing it to this new space that we're going into.
Digging a little bit deeper through my cloud go-to-market course experience, where we teach leaders of how to accelerate the attraction. So we've seen 4 type of problems that ISV have when they go to cloud marketplaces in terms of how they use technology, right? They have, number one, they want to integrate with cloud marketplace, which is not everyone has this capability. Number one, they want to operationalize it, essentially what you said about, taking offer downstream, metering and all this stuff. Then number 3, sort of analytics, basically trying to understand what is working. And then number 4, which is now kind of becoming number 1, is like insights. Essentially, if I'm going multi-cloud, with which marketplace should I try to push the software, or should I even push the software with certain marketplace, even if I'm not multi-cloud, right? So what is the propensity to buy and so on? So like, can you maybe comment on some of this needs and how your sort of features fit into that?
Absolutely. That's a very, very valid question, Roman. Um, when I think about it, right, it's funny, like I've been talking to a number of ISVs over the last couple of weeks and months, right? And when I often meet with them, they think the first thing that they require is a platform. The first thing they need to invest is actually a platform. And as much as I love the thought, but as a true design partner, I would say creating the strategy comes first. You need to put together first a team together that can execute on that strategy, right? And the strategy is basically all about how are you going to create a demand to whatever hyperscaler marketplace you take. Do you have an install base already captive in that particular hyperscaler's install base, right? Look, if you're basically going ahead and doing AI apps for hyperscaler 3 and you go and list yourself on hyperscaler 1, doesn't make sense, right? Similarly, if your offering is not put together in a way that the hyperscaler is drawing you in, it doesn't make sense, right? So I think there's an overall Uber strategy that needs to come first, then a team to execute on the strategy that needs to come next. Then validating that with securing some early wins, I think comes next after that, right? So you want to basically create that traction for your offering on the hyperscaler marketplace. And the beauty of the hyperscaler marketplace is they've created enough incentives for ISVs. They've created enough incentives for their customers, and they've created enough incentives for even their field to basically draw you in, right? So I think that's where the early wins for an ISV become super important, because once those big wins come in, I think automatically hyperscalers network and the hyperscaler sales teams will pull them in into those conversations, right? And once you do that, and once you really attain that scale, that's when you basically need a platform, right? And that's where, I feel that's the sequence of events that people need to do. And it's not until you basically get to the real scale that you need a monetization platform to support you. Often, what I'm seeing right now, Roman, is people start with, oh, let's get on the marketplace. Oh, let's basically get a platform. And then they realize, oh, but I didn't spend money, I didn't spend time, I didn't spend energy on creating the demand, creating the strategy behind that marketplace. And then the project fails. And then they think, oh, I put all this money with no return on the investment. And then they start looking at some other channel, right? So I think that sequence of events is important, and if any ISV invest correctly into that, I think the hyperscaler marketplace, and I believe the hyperscaler marketplaces, it's a very, very good route to market for ISVs.
Yeah, 100%. And we've been we've been teaching in our course precisely that, and I agree that you need to get traction first, and then double down on operations and platforms integrations and so on. But to go back to my question in terms of, does your product help companies to sort of integrate? Does it help them to get sort of insights in terms of which marketplace should they their sellers to sell, for example? Does it help them to kind of leverage partners? You mentioned that, and we'll go into partners deeper, but sort of on integration and operationalizing, maybe like a few comments.
In this day and age, right, Roman, anything that doesn't provide insights is not a valuable platform, right? We are a SaaS-based platform, so we can actually see a lot of activity that's happening across our platform. And even today, right, even for our channel partners, we provide them a lot of insights in terms of saying, hey, this is what we're seeing in terms of traction of a particular product. Here's what we're basically seeing in terms of, how you can get faster to market. Here's how you can basically go to these set of channel partners. They're doing well and things like that, right? We take that same experience, we take that same insight, we take that same knowledge, and now make it available to ISVs and saying, hey, of these routes to market or these marketplaces, this is doing well, and these kind of products will go well. And we even try to basically network these ISVs together. So it'll be like, hey, XYZ is looking for an approach to create security as a service, let's say business outcomes as a service. And you can basically tie up with these three or four different partners to actually create an offering that will be meaningful in the market. And because all those three or four offerings are basically running on top of CloudBlue, from a approach standpoint, it becomes very easy for doing margin management. It becomes very easy for doing bundling. It creates very easy approaches to take this offering to the market, right? So yes, we do all that stuff all the time. In fact, that's the beauty of CloudBlue. For an ISV, they can actually look at every marketplace as a different multi-channel for them, but behind the scenes everything is getting aggregated in a single place for them, so they have complete visibility into which channel is performing well, and then we bring the additional insights on top to provide them that visibility and added knowledge of the different routes to market. So yes, absolutely we do that. But Roman, I think what's more important is, I think you and I both agree on this, is the first set. What is the strategy you want to basically put in place, and how do you want to leverage the marketplace channel becomes the super important. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job in the courseware that you guys have built for both channel partners as well as the hyperscaler marketplaces. So kudos to you guys, man.
Thanks so much. You mentioned ISVs who will leverage your platform, right? Are you focusing on ISVs that leverage two-tier distribution, or you're focusing on ISVs that are kind of agnostic whether they focus on channel partners or not?
Our platform can be used across different selling motions, Roman. That's the beauty. Whether an ISV is even directly selling to their own end customers and they have a direct sales team that wants to basically use the platform, they can use it. If an ISV is selling through a end tier model where they're selling to a distributor and the distributor is then having a reseller network, it can be used for that. If an ISV is basically selling directly through resellers, and then the resellers are putting multiple products together to create an outcome as a service, the platform works for that kind of a setup as well. And then if a ISV is selling to the hyperscaler marketplace directly to an end customer, it works for that. If the ISP is selling to the hyperscaler marketplace through programs like DSRO or CPPO and things like that, it works for that as well. So that's why we are a truly multi-channel, multi-route to market platform. And that's why I'm saying this cannot be built overnight. This has to be built over the years. And we're taking those 10 years of experience that we've had with CloudBlue of working with all these different channels, and now adding the hyperscaler and the ecosystem marketplace routes to our offering. That's why you don't call it a separate product. We just call it extending our offering because it's still the same CloudBlue platform that does it.
It sounds like really powerful that you are putting together all this motion and putting them into one centralized place. And what I loved about the fact that you've been talking with us is that you firsthand leading this motion, right? So let me sort of ask you, like, how important it is for you as a company or you as a leader this initiative.
It is very important when I think about it, right? We've already kind of gone ahead and established our success in the channel partner market, right? So all these ISVs that have this relationship with channel partners, that market we've already succeeded. And we are like largest telcos basically run us. Some of the largest distributors in the world runs us. Some of the largest resellers in the world run us, right? In fact, if fast forward, there may be some other new hyperscalers that may come into the market that may actually leverage us as the underlying platform, right? Who knows? So that thing we've kind of done pretty well. Now, what we want to do is, since we've taken care of the top of that side of the funnel, now we want to basically go and make sure that life becomes easy for the ISVs so we can actually truly deliver a perfect network effect. So this is a very important expansion that we're doing to CloudBlue, and we are very gung-ho about it because we're bringing the industry knowledge, we're bringing the technology, and we're building the existing ISV network to go ahead together and provide a very, very strong offering and platform to the market. So it's very important at CloudBlue.
Let's talk about network effect, like for a second, if possible. I guess this is like a very powerful combination of words that everyone wants to unlock. And if you can do that, then any company that sort of unlocks network effect becomes infinitely more successful or like potentially successful. So what are the network effects that you see in your sort of your ecosystem?
It's not new for us, Roman. We've had this network effect running for us for a while now, right? So what happens is, think about this, right? So we go ahead and onboard all these ISVs onto our platform, right? The 200 plus ISVs that we've onboarded. On the right hand side, we've gone ahead and onboarded a whole bunch of channel partners today that are, whether they're selling through their marketplaces or selling through other hyperscaler marketplaces. We've onboarded these channel partners, right? And these are running on top of CloudBlue marketplaces, right? So this catalog of ISVs immediately becomes available on the channel partner side. On the flip side, the channel partner is then basically adding new products of their own that they may want to basically monetize it further. And these then become the channel partner, then again becomes an ISV that's then basically making stuff available to the next marketplace in the tier, right? So you see this cascading effect that's happening. So an ISV can become a partner can become an ISV can become a channel partner can become a partner. There's that effect, right? So you're blurring the lines between who is this partner and who is the ISV. That begins one. The second thing is we are allowing people to take products and say, I want to go ahead and, let's say, I provide tooling for data center management. But I cannot provide everything myself. But I could basically go ahead and find the gaps in my product with these other ISV solutions. And I can go ahead and create a bundle of my offering and provide that bundled offering through this network. So it also allows me to basically create that do not miss an opportunity kind of a mindset where I can go ahead, look and tap into the network and say, okay, if I'm a data center management product, I need to provide data center security, I need to provide data center observability, I need to provide something else. These may be gaps within my product. I just pull them from the other ISV network, create a bundle, and make them available to my channel. So those things become very easy to do, right? So that's the network effect that we've created within CloudBlue.
Bundling could be very powerful, and it's really great that you sort of enabling that. So I would imagine that you were building it, like you said, for a certain period of time, and you probably work with multiple of your customers to get the feedback and work together. I'm curious, like, what are the things that they sort of ask you to build, and what are the things that you build in response of that feedback?
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful question. So I've always been wired to come at this as a design partner approach, right? And my team, fortunately, is of the very same mindset. They kind of approach this problem as not just being a platform provider, but we work with our partners as the design partners, right? And in doing so, there are a number of different requests that we get. There's certain requests that basically come along. How do we provide a better experience to the end customers, right? And the beauty is we can be used out of the box with our marketplace, or we can basically be used headless, where they can build their own experiences, right? So we work together with these partners to see what experience they want to deliver, and then we build. If we look and we see, they're like really good features that are being asked for, we kind of build that in the platform. If not, we kind of help them with some accelerated development, etc. Right? So we do that. But the beauty that we are seeing is the flip side, right? As we're talking to more and more ISVs and we're talking to more and more partners that also want to become ISVs, we're starting to see this thing of like, I am going to go and sell through any route to market I can sell, because as compared to before, where people used to do very large deals, in the SaaS world, it's become much smaller deals, and you have to repetitively keep earning the business of the customer. When you do that, you can't basically afford to, not provide the customer a very good value. You cannot afford to miss on providing the customer the right experience with your product, because your entire sales is not the initial sale, but the upsell and the renewal that comes after that. And because of that, what's happening is a lot of the partners, a lot of both the channel partners and the ISVs are asking for this single pane of glass kind of an experience, where they should be able to see this irrespective of whichever route to market they go with. And that is what CloudBlue is a master at providing. And then the last part is, okay, I got the order. Doesn't matter from where I got the order. Once I get the order, I don't want to do this using manual human putty in terms of provisioning stuff and things like that. I want this to be automated. I want to collect fulfillment parameters that may be different for different channels, but I want to harmonize it in one place. I want to basically get orders however they come from different places, but I want to standardize it once it reaches my backend, right? And then you have your own integration into things like, I may be using this for billing, or I may be using that for subscription management, but I want a single record. And then I want that to basically get integrated with my backends. So a lot of the requests that we get are around like streamlining that experience into a single place for the ISV, creating a single pane of glass for the ISV.
It makes a lot of sense, and I agree that, because given that so many marketplaces now, I mean, obviously hyperscalers are the biggest, but still you need to have like a single place where you would track everything and should be automatic. I think it makes a lot of sense. I'm curious, from your standpoint, what do you think should be true for this product to succeed, for this extension of your platform to succeed, and especially given that the go-to-market part takes so much importance in every ISV success in cloud go-to-market motion.
I think I'll go back to my opening statement. You asked me like, how do I explain CloudBlue to my friends, right? We have to be the digital butler, right? We need to basically make sure that we're making it so simple for the channel partners, we're making it so simple for the ISVs to not only onboard themselves to these new routes to market and the existing older routes to market, but over a period of time, these routes to market are going to expand. There are going to be new marketplaces that come in. How can we easily allow the ISV to onboard to these different marketplaces, right? So creating that effect of pre-onboarded workflows would be very helpful. And then on the flip side, on the back side, if you think about it, creating that abstraction, single pane of glass for ISV, single pane of glass for the channel partners, simplifying their provisioning aspect, I think will be super important for us to basically succeed in this market. So yeah, like the approach that we're taking is an approach that has basically been very successful for us with the channel partners of being the digital butler, taking out all the complexities, making their life extremely simple so they focus on accelerating the revenues. we're doing that exact same thing for ISVs to accelerate the revenues across multiple routes to market, multiple channels. Because gone are the days where you could expect the customer to come and buy where you are. Today, as an ISV, you have to go where the customer is willing to buy. And that is what we facilitate with CloudBlue.
Digital butler, I love that, and I completely agree to what you previously said, that companies need to win renewal every time, so they need to keep providing value. They need to be sort of on the toss at any given moment.
And Roman, even to add to that, what we also do provide in CloudBlue is beyond just a platform, right? We also provide a lot of value-added services on top. So, for example, if you need assisted selling, you are selling through a particular route to market, we can help you with that. You need assisted support in terms of onboarding your customers that have just purchased the product. We have services that we offer around that. You need like order taking, for example. You need somebody to help you with creating a private offer. You need somebody to basically create an offer and push it through a particular marketplace. You can do it yourself, it's completely self-service, or we also have the value-added services around that, right? So value-added accelerated service is something that we continuously provide with CloudBlue as well.
Other strengths that I would imagine you have, and you can sort of basically accelerate your product, this new product adoption, is you have your own partner ecosystem, right? So like, I'm curious, how do you plan to leverage or like roll out this product across your own partner ecosystem?
We have our own partner ecosystem, but our partner ecosystem is mainly consisting of, there are few SIs that go ahead and implement our product for sure. There are also a few technology ecosystem partners that we have, and like for example, CloudSense is a CPQ partner for us. We've got some other partners like AvePoint that basically builds connectors for us. So we've got those ecosystems. But our core strength of our ecosystem is the pre-onboarded ISVs that we have today and the rich set of 200 plus distributors, resellers that are already on the CloudBlue network, right? So when you combine that, it's not 200 plus 200, it's 200 into 200, right? So that gives a very, very strong effect for our ISVs coming on board. Add that with the huge amount of potential that you have with the hyperscaler marketplaces now, right? The ISVs onboard to a platform with one click, they can also onboard to the hyperscaler marketplace. That becomes easy. So that's our ecosystem that we bring to the table, right? So whether it is you want to customize the platform for what you need, we've got the SIs. You want ability to quickly build the adapters, connectors that you need for your ISV product. We've got partners for that. You need a full-fledged CPQ engine. You need integration into your own billing systems, etc. We have partners that can help you with that. CloudBlue itself is integrated with a number of the payment gateways, number of the ERP systems, like we've got integrations into NetSuite, SAP, Zora. We've got integrations with a number of iPaaS like Boomi, Workato, Flow, right? So we've got that network of partners as well, right? So it's a very well designed platform, rich with integrations, rich with an ecosystem that we built.
It sounds like you have the entire platform, and now you just add in like a new very powerful layer, and then you also have pretty strong ecosystem around you and all industry knowledge of CloudBlue. So I'm curious, maybe one of my last questions is where ISVs can now just go in and try it, and if they want to adopt it.
So the best place to actually get started with CloudBlue is you go to cloudblue.com. And we don't have a free trial approach because what we found is usually this requires a lot of, setting up, understanding what the ISV wants to do, what marketplaces do they want to participate in, things like that. So we don't have like a free trial. But what we do is we do a very well-designed proof of concept. We do a well-designed walkthrough exercise where we do a solution design document. We come to this as a design partner and we build a solution for them on top of the existing platform. So the best part I would say to get started with CloudBlue is go to cloudblue.com and then get going from there.
Congrats on your new offering, and I'm really excited to see this on the market. And I know how difficult it is to build new products, and I'm sure that you're thrilled to push it to the markets. And I think hyperscalers are just basically getting started, if I can say that, right? So we all see how much traction they still have on the incredible like revenue base. So it's truly remarkable. So I think having product like yours would be really important for both ISVs and channel partners. So congrats on that.
Thanks, Roman. We are very excited about this new offering, and we're very excited to work with partners like yourself that are basically leading the effort of revolutionizing how procurement will be done in the future. So, thank you so much.
Everyone, please go and try. Connect with CloudBlue. Go to CloudBlue website and learn more about this offering. Thanks so much, Uddhav, for joining us today.
It was a pleasure.